Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and a slight change of plans today was going to do the best teams of 3.0, which I will be doing sometime next week, mainly for the new troops, but today I wanted to go over version 3.05, yes. I can show the version of 3.05 now. Keep in mind that this still is in beta and will not be the exact same that it is going into the main game. Still has quite a few bugs and stuff like that, but they did say that I can finally show it. So today I'm going to be going over all of the 3.05 features that I can find. This is not an official list of new features that'll be in the game, just everything that I can find just from messing around with it. So yeah, let's get into it and start with the biggest one out of all of them. We'll go over all of these, but there is a animation speed that you can now adjust, and this goes everywhere from 0.25 all the way up to 4 times. So this might not seem like much, but it drastically increases or decreases the amount of time that it takes to farm resources as well as just do battles in general. It will of course mainly be used for farming purposes, and let's see if I can actually get the perfect combo going down here. I ended up winning in about 10 seconds earlier. Let's see if we can do something similar. But as you can see, all the animations go in like no time flat. Unfortunately, we did not get the extra turn right there. But there is quite a big just speed change here. As you can see, it goes excessively quick. And in no time flat, we can just go wipe out the entire team, and boom, there we go. And that is 4 times speed. Obviously, realistically, you would only use this for farming. When I do a good majority of my videos, I will probably have it at 2 times speed, because for newer players and just in general, 4 times speed is a little bit hard to follow what on earth is even happening. But there are more changes to battles as well. If we go over and move to the wrong team. If we move over to the Justice team here, just a standard Justice team, just with a Sea Troll up front. There is a nice change that they added to anything that uses specific gems on the board. As you can see, oh wait, never mind, we need to have mana on it. Never mind, well, let me go get mana first, and then I can go show it. I forgot we actually need mana, or else it's not going to show it. So let's just get ourselves some mana and go show the new mana that shows. So as you can see right here on the Valkyrie, it of course creates a bunch of blues. As you can see, there is a little blue icon indicating how many blues are currently on the board. Every single troop that uses a specific color will end up showing this. So for example, if we end up getting Queen Mab up, eventually, soon TM, we will be able to see without even needing to count the number that are on the board, if she can or cannot use her ability. So like for example right here, there is a 14 right there, so we know that we can, without even having to spend the time to go count everything, that she will indeed end up landing that. And yeah, ends up working out pretty well, saves a lot of time on top of our already all the time savers that are already added to the game as a result of this. But yeah, works out really nice. And we'll just need one more skull if he'll let us take one. And that will be match right there, and boom, down it goes. And of course, 4 times speed, there's like no animation. The things that come up, they come up like pretty much instantly, and for farming purposes, works really nice. At minimum, will make it twice as quick, if not even quicker, to be able to farm all your resources. But that is by no means everything, so let's just go over basically everything that has changed, starting from where we already were. You can now set all the resolutions, you can set the quality as far as how all the graphics will look. I just put it on max settings because I'm on a computer right now. They did add a power saving option. This would of course be for mobile players out here. You'd probably want to use it on common with power saving, just because you don't want to burn out your battery. And there's a blur function too, which just does the change of the blur whenever you're on screens like this. I just keep it on low, just so it has a little bit of distinction. High, basically the same thing as low, so I just keep it on low. And you could put it on none, but on some interfaces like this, it can be a little bit hard to kind of like see through it, so I just keep it on low. And as far as linking, just has all of the standard links right there. Count exactly the same, but though the screen for it's a little bit weird, and just the language settings, all that's already just the same. And let's just go down all of the line here. So PvP, what exactly has changed here other than what I've already shown? When you do casual PvP, you'll automatically see the difficulty. Anything that ever uses difficulty in this game will have the screen to choose your difficulty on the actual screen. So you don't have to wonder, oh, what difficulty am I on right now, or accidentally go into a battle on like Warlord 4. You'll automatically know right there what your difficulty is before you go into battle. And of course, this does not show on PvP or locations where you do not use difficulty. And if it does, that is a glitch, and they'll probably be fixing that. Already caught a couple of them. Stats here, same. This is exactly the same other than the fact that it has the gem priorities, which was retracted. It won't be in next patch, unfortunately. It did look like it was going to be initially, but it looks like they're saving it till 3.1 or some kind of later patch. Other than that, it's exactly the same, and leaderboard all the same, so nothing else to see there. Let's see, what's the next thing we'll go over? I guess we'll just go down the line. Arena, as far as gameplay, is exactly the same, though it does have a slightly different visual layout, as well as they have fixed the difficulty glitch thing. Before, occasionally it would kind of lock you in at normal if you drafted during normal and forgot to reset your setting, but of course you can just reset your setting here, and having it at normal when you draft will not automatically make your whole arena run on normal, so you can easily do it on hard, and it will still count as a hard instead of as a normal run. So that has been fixed completely, plus you can just set it through the screen right there, and it just looks visually. As far as gameplay, it's exactly the same. Treasure maps, there's literally no difference, so no point in needing to do that. Guild, most of the layout for this is pretty much the same. Do keep in mind that everything has switched over to Unity, so quite a few does look just a bit visually different, but as far as everything, it's pretty much just the same, just with little animations going whenever you hover over anything. As far as Guild Wars, there is one very nice change that has occurred to this. Underneath the attack screen here, you can see that there is a orb behind whatever the number day is. Of course, the number indicates the day of the war, and now this orb indicates the color. So now you don't have to keep looking over to the schedule every single time. It's like, oh, what color day is it today? You can just go and see instantly right as you go into the battle and know, oh, today's a brown day. So you don't even need to go and double check. You'll automatically have it right there. So that's pretty nice. So no need to do all the checking there. As far as chests, nothing has changed other than the fact that it now shows above 999 or whatever the previous limit was, I forgot, but now it shows however many keys you have, even if you have thousands upon thousands. So that's the only change that has occurred to keys. Heroes, the sensitivity on the scroll here is a little bit less, and the only other change I think they made is you can now see keys that you have as well under your collection. Everything else is exactly the same as far as what I can see. As far as troops, there were several troops that were reworked, probably even more than this. They'll probably have a full change log whenever they do it. Of course, these changes may change from what these current changes are, but I might as well go over these real quick as well. Summoner now summons a Bone Daemon, which isn't even a troop as of currently. It's not even in, I can't even show it right now. Or, well, technically I could if we get it to summon. But it's basically just, it's not like in the normal list, like if I show all or something. But essentially what it is it's just basically a weak kind of daemon thing that creates a couple skulls, and I think just boosts, or no, it creates a bone storm and then does a bunch of damage, and does extra damage if there's 13 or more bones or skulls on the board. That's basically what it does. It's much stronger than what a ghoul is, which is what it currently does. It also does now 6 life instead of 5. So overall, Summoner is a lot better, and a lot of orcs end up getting reworked with different kind of bonuses that only orcs have. For example, this one gains 5 armor whenever it takes damage to life. Now, Dark Song got completely overhauled. Has a 12 mana cost down by 1 from its previous 13. It now still deals damage to a single target, but now it decreases a random skill by 4. It no longer does twice as much damage to greens. And it also steals 6 mana from them if they are Orc or Daemon, which will be good as a Daemon counter. Orcs might get used a little bit more too, so that will kind of work. This also works perfectly with her Purple Link. If you set a +2 banner with her, regardless of if she surges or not, if she does a drain on an orc to steal 6 mana and then gets a single pair, that will be enough for her to be all the way back at full mana, which will be pretty nice to kind of spam her out. So that's basically what she's going to be used for. She also gains 2 additional magic every single time she takes damage to life. Orc, the main difference, actually quite a few differences. For one, Enrage has been changed. It now does 1.5 attack damage and ignores all traits. So for example, if it's a Gorgolfa up front with that 75% skull reduction, you're just going to be able to ignore and just hit it for 1.5 skull damage. Though this does only work for 1 instance, and it can be dispelled as well. And there are more troops that are going to be having dispel as well into the future. So that will be countered out that way, but it's completely different now. It now gains attack, transforms greens to brown, and then enrages to do that stats effect. It also now gains 5 armor whenever it takes life damage, and it has a 10 mana cost now due to its ability being much stronger compared to its previous 7. Garnock is also not useless anymore. It now deals 1 true damage to all allies, which is a lot different than doing 1 damage to all allies, because this will automatically proc anything that activates on HP. Things like Humility, all these new Orc traits, as well as Orb Weaver are pretty good options for this. But this will now trigger all these new Orc traits, since it'll just do 1 true damage to all of them. It also creates 7 red and 7 brown gems boosted by orcs at a 1-to-1 for a maximum of 11 browns and reds, and it now summons a random orc instead of always doing the one called orc every single time. As far as some other changes, we have, I just went under the exact same tab over again. For some other changes, we have Cyclops now gains 3 attack instead of 1 whenever it takes HP damage. The Drake Rider, really nice, now gains armor whenever it takes damage. It also, on its ability, it still does the exact same thing, but now does half of its damage to adjacent enemies instead of 1, which I believe it did before. So let's say it does 30 damage, that would then be 15 to the 2 adjacent to the target that it targeted at. It's also the first troop ever to have a 100% chance to summon something, which means the only way, or on death I should say, 100% chance to summon something on death. So the only way to counter that out would be a stun. I believe they're going to be changing this in the future. It currently says Ancient Horror, which doesn't really make much sense for a loyal mount with a dragon image there. I would assume they're adding a dragon in the future, which this will then be. I guess they just made it a Ancient Horror for now. Not quite sure what's up with that, but if they do leave it at 100%, that will be the first troop ever to have a 100% summon chance. As far as Catches the Bull, they are doing the buff that they did mention a while back, which is basically the same thing they did to Drake Rider, and that is it now does half of its damage to the adjacent targets. So basically, Catches the Bull will be useful. The way that you would use it is you would cast it on second slot. This would then kill first slot due to the skull damage, as well that you've probably done on it prior, as well as just one-shot the second slot. And then for your second shot that you would do from his cast, you would aim it at last slot. This would kill the third slot because you did half damage to him prior, and then you'll do the other half with the second shot, and this would of course kill the last slot since you would just one-shot it. So basically that is the way that you use Catches the Bull now. You aim it at second, you aim it at fourth, and then you win. Assuming you get one-shots, that is how he will be used. If he doesn't do one-shots, then yeah, he's still going to be useless. You still have to build him up to the point where he can do one-shots, because his default values is not enough to one-shot in most instances. But once you get him to that point, he will be pretty nice. Also, Zephyrus now has a very high boost ratio, 10 times. I believe it's the highest in the game. Every yellow it destroys then does 10 additional split damage. And yeah, 5 yellows, which is relatively easy. I guess 3 would kind of be the average, but you can definitely get 5, 6, maybe even 7 within a column. And actually, maybe not 7, but that will definitely help increase his damage quite a bit, since every single one of the yellows that he destroys is in a whole 10 additional damage. That's going to be insane earlier on in the game. We thought Ranger had a good boost ratio. This thing is just going to tear everything apart if you get that thing earlier on. There's probably, oh wait, and there's a couple more changes. There's probably even more than what I'm going over right here. This is just everything that I happen to have seen. Though there are probably many changes that I did not end up seeing. This one, pretty much everyone already knows because they ended up announcing it on the forum, but all of the trolls did get their +4 additional spawn. This is excessively annoying with the Dark Troll, Rock Troll combo. I already seen it in action. I haven't really tested it extensively yet since this change actually just occurred several hours ago. But yeah, it is pretty potent now. All the trolls are actually viable, particularly the Dark Troll, since it has the best traits out of all the trolls, with regeneration, immune to death mark, and death touching them. But still, I guess Rock Troll is going to be pretty decent too, since they'll probably be used together, as well as the fact that it is the only troop that specifically has immune to Devour. Of course, Impervious also has it, but he's the only one with Indigestible. He also has Stone Skin, so that helps out quite a bit. But yeah, both of those are going to probably be used quite a bit. Sea Troll is probably going to be used quite a bit with the Valkyrie Justice team, and Desert Troll, not really so much. I don't really think there's still much that can synergize with him, mainly because of his colors. But yeah, that's as far as everything as far as troops. Anything else that I didn't mention? Oh yes, shop. For any of you that happen to have VIP bonuses, every single VIP bonus now gives a extra slot, a team slot for you. Yeah, every single one gives a extra team slot. And they also raised it to VIP 20. I believe VIP 20 costs somewhere around $5,000, which is a insanely high amount of money. But yeah, there's not really too many bonuses up there if you don't happen to have it. Just kind of some small stuff for the people who have spent that much, and I assume there are people who have spent that much, assuming that they actually added additional 5 VIPs all the way to 20. And I'm pretty sure they'll stop at 20 at this point. I don't foresee them going any higher than that. But yeah, every single one of these now give you an additional team slot. So if you haven't gotten VIP 3 or 5, it may actually be worth it now. Other than just getting the free scouting and VIP chests, it would indeed give you a couple more team slots. I'm not quite sure if they're going to add other methods to getting team slots. This appears to be the only one from what I've seen. But yeah, this is how you get a couple more team slots if you need them. Of course, as of Guild Wars, it's definitely pretty nice to have additional team slots going around. Let's see, what else did I miss? Mail, pretty much the same thing there. Still collect all. Oh no, it has a history of what you have collected as well. So that's kind of helpful as well. Since you can see everything that you have ever claimed. Tribute's exactly the same, just as a normal tribute thing. And it goes through all the animations there, blah, blah. Skip through it real quick. Let's see, chat. Oh yeah, chat. Almost forgot to go over chat because it did get changed quite a bit. It now has this new little small window thing, and you can scroll through as normal. Has the Guild War announcements, automatically gets announced at the bottom whenever you go into your guild page. And as far as options here, there are fade options. What this is for is if you want to see chat while you're in a battle. Actually, let me adjust that a little bit more. Go over to chat. Let me make it a little bit more visible. But for example, if you want to do your battle and still see chat, you can leave that on in the background and you can easily see it. Just bring it to opacity that you want to kind of just mess around with it and still see chat at the same time. If you click on everything, you won't be able to chat in it until you actually click on the chat within the game or just on this menu. But it will allow you to see chat as you're playing if you're someone who likes to chat in there while playing. So they have that. Of course, just a normal channel, disconnecting all that. There's also a ban option now. Like, for example, if we wanted to ban Edward because he's being a troll, we can then, or not ban, I mean block. We can just add him to our block list by clicking this button, and then our whole block list is over here. Probably won't be using it myself, but I know some people have been requesting for that, so they did end up adding that. Oh, let me go take off the fade. You can take it off at any time, and then make sure it's never there. There we go. And let's see, what else is there that I haven't gone over? I know there's, oh yeah, events. Most of it, as far as everything functions here, is exactly the same. You don't have to click on each one of them to collect them anymore. You just have one single collect button. But all these things are now under one page. I mean all these things as in, you can see right here the Troll event, in which it goes over all of the things in like the rewards and stuff. All of them are now under one tab. This used to be in two different tabs, one all the way to the left where the events were, and the other one all the way to the right where this would have been, and the other stuff, like whenever there's a new mythic or a new legend or, you know, kind of stuff like that. But yeah, they have changed it to all be under one menu now, and to distinct between the old format and the new format. All of the specific event related ones are now in this like light blue color, and all of the other ones are in this whitish color, so you can still distinct between the two of them. Let's see, offers, it's just all on one page now, not really much to see there. And did I go over all the settings yet? I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something, but yeah, believe I went over everything then at this point. If you still have any questions about it, let me know. Of course, this is not the whole official thing. They'll probably be having all of their change logs and all that whenever it does come. It is likely coming in a couple weeks to a month. I know they're still doing some more bug fixes and stuff like that, so they haven't sent it to Apple yet, and once they do, that'll probably take a whole another week or two. But yeah, this is version 3.05. Definitely some very nice quality of life changes that have been asked for a while now, and just some other changes in general that had to have been done as they switched over to Unity. Oh, actually, there's one last thing that I didn't really go over. Kind of just the whole troop page thing here. It is quite a bit different because it's on the Unity code base now. They have this whole different filter system, and you can just reset it by clicking that button. I don't believe there's any additional search options. I think there are like occasional, like some that you can do. You can search by traits and a couple other things as well. For the most part, oh yeah, base rarity. They did add base rarity, which is pretty nice. You can search by base rarity. So if we apply this filter, as you can see, we have all of the mythics up at the top now. So for everyone who has, or for the people that have like a lot of legends and mythics upgraded, you can now search by base rarity. And we can see by this that we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 base mythics are currently in the game. So yeah, you'll be able to search by that, and that will be quite handy since the other search option prior was pretty much useless. But yeah, you can just kind of play around. There's a lot of different search options. Definitely not the best, a little bit overwhelming too with how many options there are. And the reset, you do have to keep remembering to apply filter if you want it to go back, because if you don't, it'll keep it like that. So like, for example, if you go to apply blue and then clear the fields and then just like X out and not click apply, it's going to keep it on the blue. We actually have to reset and then apply. But yeah, just like other changes, like for example, we need a rename team over here. It's not over in the bonuses section anymore. I don't even think there's a clear team option anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, you have to actually drag them. And one other pretty annoying thing, let me go do it with like this team over here. One other pretty annoying thing is if you try to put a team or a troop in your team. Like, for example, let's say I want Amnesia in 3rd slot, and then I want to decide where I want to put everything. Well, currently that doesn't actually work. It just drags it all the way to the top. I don't know if they're going to change that in the future, but this is one feature that actually got removed in a way. They'll probably change this in the future, but as of currently, as you can see, it is quite annoying since it just drags them straight to the top. So if you wanted to put something like, here, let me go put this in last slot. Nope, all the way dragged up to 2nd. So you basically have to build a team of 4. Actually, probably the easiest way would just be suggest a troop and then drag everything where you want. Would probably be the easiest way of going about doing that now. Since if you don't, it'll just drag it all the way to the top. And I'm just putting random troops in there. That's obviously not a real team. But yeah, other than that, I think that now is everything. But yeah, if you still have any other questions, feel free to leave them. I will be streaming this all this weekend on Friday and Saturday from our normal time, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're probably going to be on this version almost the entire time for the most part. So I'm going to be messing around with it, messing with speed settings, messing with the rebalanced troops, and just having fun with it. So yeah, hopefully this will be officially out soon. And yeah, any other questions, feel free to leave them. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.